everyone, it's a little dark in here. I'm sorry. If I turn the lights behind me, it'll blind me even worse, and I don't have lights in front. So, just kind of wanted to yak with y'all this morning. I'm trying to get motivated for work, and it's, as you can see, it's going really well. But I was so relieved to find out that, when I logged in and I opened my email, that I didn't have any new emails. And so that's actually refreshing to me. I'm an introvert, and so those things actually make me happy, even though emails bring you work. And so that's kind of it's a double-edged sword. I like that I can email people and get a response, but I don't always want a ton of emails early Monday morning when I'm already stressed that I have to try to I'm already stressed about trying to get working situated, with Skyler being born. I did talk to him yesterday. He's so happy, guys. He's so happy. He says that everyone is so nice up there, like crazy nice, and he calls the people locals. It's funny to me. But he's already talked to a bunch of people down there, and it's just a different atmosphere. He said that, he went to work with Brandon yesterday, and that so they worked a full day, did surveying. He said surveying is so much easier up there because they chop down the tree. One of the things they do is they chop down the trees and then do their stuff and then plant the trees back when they're done. So it makes it a whole lot easier for them. And then there is a federal program. So, because I had asked the question, I was like, so wait a minute. If you're doing land surveying up there, does that mean that eventually Idaho is going to become like every other, it's going to be too full at some point? Because I don't want to move somewhere that's going to, I like it empty. One big city has everything I need, and everything else is land. That's just the way that I'm weird like that. Want to be introverted, but be able to have my conveniences too. That's what it is. And so he said no. He said there's a federal program that is out there that's where they basically, I think they survey the lands just so they can have that. The federal government can have that information. So that is done on a regular basis too. He said when they were done, there were beers in the fridge at work, and he got to see Brandon's workspace, and it's just a different atmosphere, and he just loves it. He loves it. He is missing me like crazy. I miss him like crazy, but we're holding out strong. Now it's only day 4, so everyone's probably laughing at us like, oh my god, he always makes me feel better because I told him I need to hear from him at least once a day. Just at least once a day. And so we're going to come up with a phone schedule to where I hear from him every single day. So yesterday was a little bit rough, which is why I didn't do a video. Ethan had an allergy attack at about 9 o'clock 8:30, 9 o'clock last night. I had to get Skyler on the phone because Ethan was crying and freaking out. I didn't know what to do because this has never happened to me, but apparently Skyler gets this too, and he got this as a kid, but he had an allergy attack. He was sitting in his crib. I remember thinking, wow, he's sneezing a lot in a row. Well, then he started crying really, really hard. Someone there and got it. Well, his eyes started swelling up really bad, really quickly, and he's just scratching all right here and just rubbing his eyes just continuously, and I just couldn't get him to stop rubbing his eyes. I flushed his eyes, but it just it wasn't helping. So I had to call Skyler to get Ethan to calm down, and Skyler told me what to do, and that this was something that he gets from him, that it's an allergy attack. Who knows what the allergy was? Could be anything in this house, could be anything outside. We did go for a walk yesterday. I took the single stroller. We walked around the block. It wasn't a long walk because it was about to rain, but we did do it. So I'm proud of myself for that, even as grumpy as I was. So that happened before the attack, by the way. So I got him in the bath and gave him a bath, but it didn't seem to help all too much. But so what I did was I gave him Benadryl in his bottle, and I had him eat baby cookies so that he would get thirsty and drink his bottle. So he finished his bottle, and of course it made him sleepy, so he passed right out. Harper, he didn't want to go to bed till about 10 o'clock last night, which wasn't too bad. he was just really restless, and I finally fed him at 10 o'clock last night and put him down. But he slept till 6 o'clock this morning, and then he went right back to sleep when again was bottled at 6. So much better than 4 a.m. I'm hoping that that's going to continue. We shall see. Yeah, so he's liking it up there a lot, and our goal now that we have talked about, just to get everyone prepared, the earliest is going to be November that I would be up there. So, but it gives everybody at least a little bit of a time frame. Gives me a time frame. I have to have some sort of planning, and Skyler, even though he has some autistic traits, it is not known yet if he's autistic, but he cannot really keep to a schedule. That's one of his issues, and I have to have a schedule on some level, even if it's extremely loose, so that I know what's going on. And it's a controlling thing. If things don't, if we don't have a schedule, I start to freak out a little bit. That's the last thing that I need. And I don't like when plans change when I've got them set in motion. Now, this lifestyle changes I tend to do a lot better, but I tried to explain to Skyler that I have clients here, and I have Ethan's, SSI is here, and there's a lot of changeover. He would need 4 different doctors. He would need an ophthalmologist, he would need a dentist, he would need his PCP, and a new psychiatrist. And then we would have to figure out the state and how they do therapy, and have his therapy transferred and how all that works. And we'd have to have an actual location in which we're moving to first before I can establish therapy. And I don't know how long I have to be a resident in order to get the therapy in session. And that, I need therapy. I need those things. And so I don't know how long there is a gap in between those things. And so the earliest would be November. And this will give me time to figure it out. Hopefully we'll have SSI by then for Ethan, and then those funds would help with the transfer, because at that time, at least for the gap, I can hire therapy with the SSI instead of instead of just trying to rely on the state and how long it takes for them to get their own therapy program. Brandon tells me that Idaho is extremely good for children with disabilities, so I'm excited to kind of see what their programs are like, even though I'm also very nervous because out here, if you live unless you live in the city, which even the cities are suffering with this, that there's not enough help and support to be able to provide to everyone. And so we're very lucky to have the therapist we have. She got sick, so we haven't seen her in a couple of weeks. She's suffering from an illness, and so now there's not anyone to replace her. No one's going to come out here, so we have to wait until she comes back. And so they're not really covered that way. They finally hired a speech therapist. She's going to be out here tomorrow. We're going to do Ethan's annual. Ethan is going to get scared. I did inform them of that Ethan's going to get very scared. There's not really much we can do. If he gets too scared, I'm going to make them leave and come back, because it's not worth it to me for y'all to figure out just some information when I can tell you everything that he can and can't do. So, and then they test him on things typically that I'm like, parents do this? Like, yeah, they put stuff in a bottle and try to see if they get it out. I'm like, well, I don't think about doing things like that. I give him toys. He plays with toys. I don't make my own toys to try to see what he can do and what he can't do. I don't know that I'm supposed to be doing that, and I don't think there's a lot of parents that do that, so I just ignore it. They tell me if he can do stuff and whether he can't do it, and if he can't do it, then we try to work on it later, but they'll explain to me how big, how important it is and all that stuff. So, but I think that's it. I think that's the biggest update. I just trying to figure out work is what's stressing me out the most. And hopefully once I get a schedule down here that works well for the kids and for me when it comes to working without me neglecting them for work, then hopefully I won't have to keep anybody waiting, work and stuff like that. So anyway, I just wanted to post an update that yesterday was just a little bit rough with the kids. I felt a little bit smothered. I don't need help with the kids. I need to be able to have time to process the fact that Skyler's gone, to get a schedule going, and then I can tell you if I need help. Because I don't have any needs. I don't have anything that I need. Uncle Mike is going to come here, and he's going to get my tires fixed today. That was the last need that I wanted, unless somebody wants to come out here and mow my lawn. And I wouldn't ask anybody to do it. I'm going to hire somebody. So, yeah, that's it outside of daycare, and that's another service that I plan on hiring. So it's just a waiting game on those things, and getting some income into the house so that we can start, planning for our future. So anyway, I hope everyone has a good morning. It is 6:49, and I will hopefully talk to you guys later.